Welcome in, everybody. Hey, Troy.
Hello.
We are the Gen X Transplant Brothers. I'm Steve. That's Troy. Hey, Troy. How you doing today?
Pretty good. How's it going, everybody?
Pretty good. Pretty good. It says live here. I don't know if that's actually the case. If we are live on YouTube, hello YouTube, and wherever else this might be streaming. So today we're going to sort of pick up where we left off the other day, and we wanted to remind everybody that this is a conversation that everybody's invited to take part in. Be sure to comment below if you would like us to talk about something. I'm not saying that in the typical like, comment, subscribe. I'm saying that really because we'd love to see it. We've seen some comments already. Perhaps we'll look through a couple later on. But we really want to hear how other people, particularly those in the Gen X community like ourselves, born between 1965 and 1980, are sort of making their way through life now that we're hitting our 60s. I will be 59 tomorrow, and my brother Troy turned 59 last February. Real fast though, I gotta throw a disclaimer out there. If this is the first time you've been here, Troy and I are only separated by that many months, but our parents were married, we have different mothers, or actually, yes, different, well, we have different everything.
Yeah, you have to explain that.
We have
'cause
different
people do the
everything.
math.
So, right, so
Like,
anyway,
9 months
my parents were
apart, what
divorced
happened?
early. Both of our original parents were divorced before we really even know it. And so, and then my dad and his mom got married before I really even, I mean, I remember life before that, but it seems like I've always known Troy. And so Troy and Greg and Greg also has been commenting below. That is Greg down there below. Hey, Greg, how you doing? Thank you for your comments as well. We need to get you on the show. You're not
Yes.
Gen X, but you're actually, he's 63.
He's
Greg's 63.
62.
Boomer. Boomer. I'm kidding. I'm
Yeah,
kidding. That
that's an
crunch spot
insult.
in there. But see, but the thing is that in some ways, at my age anyway, I feel like a certain amount of me is attached to the boomerness in that I was exposed to boomer culture when they were still in their prime. I mean, you and I remember, heck, we haven't mentioned it yet, but the first concert we went together was Kiss in 1977.
Yeah.
11 years old. So, I mean, and that's not exactly boomer, but for myself, for instance, anyway, we'll talk more about it. We had a very involved with the boomer lifestyle, growing upness, if that's a word. So, Troy, I want to say the other day we mentioned this whole algorithm thing that people are seeing increasingly. It's becoming a bigger and bigger conversation out there, and I don't want to rehash that whole thing, but I do want to show how it is in fact the case. The way that the people have been talking about it, basically, there's a certain amount of the way these algorithms have been doing this is sort of like quasi mind control, where it's like negative thing, negative thing, negative thing. You'll see the worst example of whatever it is you don't like, and then you'll see something you remotely connect with that you like, and then follow that, you'll see an ad, because now you sort of have this togetherness, you feel back again, and you feel nice. Well, I fell victim to that one day. I was going through and I was looking at bad news, bad news, bad news, and then, maybe, who knows, it could have been a picture of Iceland in the wintertime in a boat saying go on a cruise, which I would love to do. That's one of my dream things. And then next I saw an ad for be able to light your grill no matter how cold and rainy and upside down in the water you are. Only $10, order them. And I did that. And I forgot about it. And this happened way back in like June. And so they arrived. And now I have my I can start anywhere in the world if I can turn it on and not burn the microphone. So I turn it on and boom, there's my little super hot little flame.
You could
So
smoke
yeah,
cigarettes while you
I,
scuba dive.
this gives me a reason to start smoking. Thank you,
While scuba
Timu.
diving.
While scuba diving. Exactly. Hey man, something new. I could do that for my. What did you do when you turned 59? I started smoking and scuba diving at the same time. How I started smoking and scuba diving at age 59. It was all because I got trapped in the algorithm and bought the Timu lighter. So, I think it's Timu.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I think you're right.
Yeah, exactly. You can get like
I remember
a
when those
muffler
came
for a
out.
57 Chevy for $10. So Troy, I was thinking of, my brother and I both have a liver transplant. And on top of that, I had also cancer, and we're not going to sit here and do poor us, we had health issues. But we also had some pretty checkered, colorful past, Railroad, Grateful Dead, Media Empire, and things like that. So I think I would like to do a little one of these how I type of conversations. And so what I did is I went out and I went through basically what I could think of Troy and I actually wrote a list here, and yes, I might be cheating. It's written right there, and I got a list of Steve How-Eyes and Troy How-Eyes. And I don't know, Troy, if you're ready for these kind of questions. I don't really know if I am either. but I'm going to put on my specs so I don't screw it up anymore by even misreading it. I don't know what my answers are going to be, but are you ready to go? I just put this together, and I'm not even sure I am comfortable answering some of these, to be honest, because this will be the first I've ever mentioned some of this. But so you ready to go, Troy? On a how I?
Yeah, let's
Okay,
find out.
let's find out. I want to do one right off the bat, Troy. How I almost joined the CIA.
Oh, me?
Yes, I'm asking you.
Oh boy.
I flipped the tables.
Yeah,
Okay, so let's start.
this is a
How I
crazy.
almost how I almost joined the CIA. Not me and my brother. Troy, go.
Yeah, I I was going through a divorce, and I didn't want to live anymore, and I thought, what's a great way to die? I was like, joining the CIA would be cool.
Yes. So what happens?
Well, I applied, and then they got back with me and told me what I would be good at.
What they say?
They said that you would be really good at analyzing photographs and maps, photo and map analysis. And I thought, I think you're right. I still think that's accurate.
Yeah.
So they interviewed me. I think it was the FBI that did it, actually. And they told me, well, we're going to investigate you, and then we'll get back with you. And I think they followed me around everywhere. It made me extremely paranoid. But I didn't get the gig.
So what happened in the end?
uh, what happened was they did tell me that you're probably going to go to Kiev, Ukraine. I'm like, where? I don't speak Kievish, which is Russian, I think they
Right.
speak. And they asked me if I had a problem with that. I said, no, but yeah, I would have had a problem with that.
Mm,
And then it just all petered away. I didn't have a driver's license because I got a couple of DUIs. And that was kind of my way. I was thinking, well, if I get a job with the government, they'll give me my driver's license back.
okay, now let's discuss. Let's ask. Okay, in the end, um, because I remember one time when you told me this story that there was some hint in the end that maybe this was some kind of gag. Is there any way the story has that element to it?
Yeah, well, it might have been me just being paranoid, and they
What do you
told
know actually happened? You actually applied.
I
Where
actually
did? How did
applied.
you do that? Where did you apply?
I applied online.
Like CIA.jobs?
This is government
Okay.
gov dot something or dot
Okay. So you
gov.
went to one of those and it said CIA, whatever, and you said, okay.
Yeah, and I applied for a job, and then it's kind of weird. I was in a bar in Bismarck, and these people approached me and said, "We want to talk to you." I said, "Okay." And I went to this booth, and this old man and this older man didn't say a word, and this monstrous woman, like Amazon woman, like 6'4", just like probably could kick anybody's ass. She did all the talking, and she was asking me questions, and she said, "We'll get back with you," and they did a couple of times
How?
um, in that bar.
So they only contacted you in the bar.
Yeah, and I called them her a couple of times. I was supposed to go to some with her to some ammunitions dump for weapons training uh, west of Dickinson, North Dakota. And at this point, I'm getting scared. I'm like, I don't know. I didn't trust anything. I was extremely paranoid, and I opted to not go. And I didn't. I was a no show. And then I saw her and another guy, like they were following me. I saw him in a grocery store. I went to rehab, and the guy just happened to be the guy who did all the laundry for the rehab center. I was like, what the fuck is
Was
going
was
on
that?
with all this?
This sounds. It sounds like there's more happening here. Is there any chance that after you applied at the CIA website that you already said you were drinking, that you went to the bar and maybe mentioned this to somebody, and
That
then
was like a
if
year later. I'd left Bismarck because I think we already talked about Judge Severin
yeah,
telling me to leave North
right,
Dakota. So
right.
I left and went back to Phoenix area, and I rode a bicycle everywhere, and I started drinking a lot. Well, not a lot, but I hung out at a bar that, like, police officers, off-duty police officers, and I may have said something, or they said something to me like, CIA, we need, like, they were,
And
we
this is in
need people.
Arizona now?
It's in Arizona now, so this is a year later, maybe. This shit's still going on.
Today?
No, no, no. It
Oh,
it it petered away. Once I left Arizona, I moved to
okay, so that's
Mont.
years ago. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. The thing is, applying at the CIA website, I mean, I'm sure that appears on government sites. I'm not doubting that took place. The part that gets me, if there's more to this, this is, okay, conspiracy theory time. Ready? Here we go. This is what happens. You do that, you're already intoxicated. I mean, you're probably intoxicated when you maybe arrive at a bar, and you tell somebody that. And now, without you even knowing it, you just tipped off some group that maybe is perfectly willing to now start this elaborate thing around you to convince you that now somehow they're aware of this and they're there to check you out. And of course, the way this would have ended in one of these true crime movies is you go to that ammo dump and nobody sees you again, and
that's what
you're
I was worried about.
right, and somehow your whatever your crypto or whatever you might have is also suddenly gone because they've also convinced you somehow to get that information through some kind of paperwork or maybe. But the fact that all of this contact took place in the bar, or at least the majority of it, and then they wanted you to leave the location, and even maybe in fact they were following you around. That would make sense there too.
Oh, I know they were.
Right, but why they would let you see them is kind of boggling because you're
Well,
thinking if they're
I don't think they.
how big is this town?
Well, it's Bismarck. I don't know how big
Okay, so
that
it's
is.
not like you're in a town of 1,500 people where you're going to see everybody
Right,
every
it's a
day.
bigger town, and there's a federal building there.
Okay.
But
Well, I don't know.
I,
You
I,
tried to
I
join
get
the
caught,
CIA.
huh? Oh,
You try.
I tried to join, and
I think
I
maybe
don't
you
know
talked
if I
yourself into
fucked it
some
up, but
situation that
well,
potentially
there's
could have gone
like I was
wrong.
taking a piss in a bar, and
How it
this
got to
guy,
Arizona?
what?
How it got to Arizona, though, we didn't even get that far. How did it get to Arizona? Maybe you told somebody in Arizona this whole tale, and that just happened to. Now, okay, no, this is a hard one, Troy, because then the guy is also the laundryman at the rehab after all this. After all this, not like it before. If he was before, that would make a lot of sense. This guy could have unethically, I mean, he's not really a counselor or anything, but perhaps he overheard something in recovery group or some session you were in while you were
Well,
in
I
rehab.
almost think he hung out at the recovery center just to collect information from all these people that were in trouble with the law because of drugs, and he was just there like eavesdropping while he's getting the laundry.
There's no telling at this point because without sounding, anybody listening can tell that there's hardly a clear picture of what's going on.
Well, I'm
But,
still unclear about all of it, and I
right,
don't like to
exactly.
tell anybody this
Right,
story because it sounds
right.
like you're so full of shit, man. But
Well,
I'm
the
not.
thing is, regardless of whether you were intoxicated and how much this actually happened, for you, the experience was real, so you have a memory of it. It's not like it didn't happen. Whether or not that's what was going on is a different thing. But regardless, the fact that there's these other weirdnesses, like the guy ends up working at the other place, and then we didn't even touch it. I think we can kill it at this point, unless you want to keep going. How it gets to Arizona? would only have been with you carrying it there, probably saying something. But then what?
Or,
Did you run into
or
the same situation? You just happened to tell somebody that was in some kind of group that was willing to knock you off or do whatever, or just screw with you to have fun? I mean, perhaps it was
well,
all just a joke.
well, I don't know what happened, but and it might have because I applied. It might have all started just like circulating in my head because I was told
Yes,
we're gonna investigate you,
right.
right?
Somebody's going to be watching you, and now people are all over the place, and
Right,
people
and
are
so
talking to
then
you about
all of
it.
a sudden everything is
Right.
suspicious to
And
me.
so
Everything.
right, say I go and do this and sit in the bar and tell somebody this, and then 3 days later, suddenly these other people come into it, and I have no memory that I even mentioned it to somebody else. You
Like
know,
everybody I met was a suspect. I mean, really?
well,
Like, are
so,
they?
there's also a very real possibility that everybody you met was in on it. Like what? Like okay, here he comes. Nobody say
What if
anything.
you're
Everybody
right?
at the bar, hold
What if
on.
I was right?
But yeah, what if I mean, that would have been the funniest thing if the end, if one of those people are maybe watching this now, they're like, hey man, remember that time there was this dude from the railroad that was, or wherever, I mean, I don't want to get, say anything, but who would come in just intoxicated. And one time he said he applied to the CIA, and we all pretended like we were FBI investigators, and all this, and they all laugh about it. Maybe they have shirts
Yeah. But there's like I met a woman at that bar. Her name was Allison. Beautiful woman,
from Galveston. No, go ahead.
Allison.
I know,
Oh,
yeah,
and her
sure.
birthday. This is the funny thing about it. Was October 4th, and I just thought that was so funny that her birthday is on 10/4. Good buddy.
Well, it's an easy way to remember it.
That's the easy way. Is that I got to talking with her, and she was just this bizarre person. She took these notepads. She did wrote everything on little tiny notepads, and they were color coordinated. I went to her house, and they were all over the fucking place. Little reminders of what to do, and she had several cell phones that I just like. Who the fuck is this person, man? And but I met her in Lowe's. She was putting in new switches for her lights in her house, and she was asking me about, do you know anything about electricity? And I said, no. But the funny thing is, I was staying with mom and dad, and they like a switch had gone bad, and I had just put in a switch at mom and dad's, and now I'm at Lowe's looking for a job, and here's this strange woman asking me if I knew anything about electricity or how to put in light switches after I just done it, right? So now I'm completely freaked out. I'm like, are you
Um,
fucking serious, man?
well,
Do
you're
you
right back in
know?
the same
Did you?
section of the
Does
store,
the
though.
CIA know I just put a switch in at my mom and dad's, and they're
Ooh, that was a
sending
good
this
one.
chick to me to help her?
That CIA thing is deep.
Oh,
Don't ever do that, anybody. Don't apply for the
no,
CIA. You
no,
never know what's going to happen.
it'll drive you nuts because I have no law enforcement experience at all. So I mean the odds. I mean that's for military people. The odds of any of this happening is probably pretty rare.
Yes. Yeah, something tells me that, I mean, okay, we've had enough. Anyway, yeah, that was a circus. Thank you for sharing that, Troy.
Well,
That's, for anybody wondering, that's how you do it.
yeah, just don't do it. It'll make you paranoid for a few years.
Okay, well, I hope everybody enjoyed that conversation. Be
Yeah,
sure to comment
if you
below if you've
are
experienced
CIA,
anything like
leave
Troy.
me alone.
Yeah, and if you're the CIA, none of this happened.
Yeah,
But
I don't
but
know
maybe
anything.
maybe somebody out there has something very similar to this, like Troy. If you care to
Yes,
share, please
please
elaborate
share.
below. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah,
Or if you can
don't get
maybe
dr-
figure out what
don't
happened here.
don't get drunk and apply for the CIA.
We need to take the transcript of this one and run it through ChatGDP and say, can you do some forensic on what happened to Troy Patterson in this
Man,
situation?
if it comes back like, oh, we're still looking for him.
It's red alert. The computer
Oh, we
shuts
found him.
down. You
Wow,
hear
we
a
lost
chopper.
him. We know where he's at now. Holy shit.
Exactly. All right. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed that conversation. So, getting back to the how I list, we have some other ones here. I have one here. How I survived a liver transplant. How I survived a liver transplant. That's a tough one to answer, other than waking up. It took a lot of rebuilding in the first year. That first year was hard, but at the same time extremely easy. It was easy because of the clarity of mind and the burst of energy that I had, and I hit the ground running. Literally the day, I think 2 days after my transplant, I escaped, so to speak. I got up and tried to walk out of the bed, and they busted me. But I never had any issues. I did run into one situation 18 months later where I had bile stones because I did not have the correct medications. They fixed that. I've had no problem since. But how I survived it was just reaffirming in myself that there was never a doubt that I was going to live. And every day waking up grateful, just as I had during the time of being sick, just to wake up each morning and just keep on keeping on the same way. And I was able to lose all that weight immediately. I dropped probably 50 pounds in the first 8 months. And I just, the whole world lit up for me, and I'll be eternally grateful for that entire situation. It was easy to survive if you just ride that wave of gratitude.
Yeah, I was I was the opposite. I consigned myself to die.
After,
Huh?
how did you survive? How did you survive transplant?
Well, Trish, our sister Trish, she's not a nun. She's Sister Trish. Um, she came up to where I was in Minnesota and got me. I don't know if my daughter or my kids called, but I was like 5 to 8 days away from dying. She told me. I believe that's what it was. And she came in. I lived with her for about a year. She got me back to health, and and like I still have a foggy memory. I thought the transplant was going to be a in and out kind of thing. So I when I could actually get out of bed, I still had all that shit coming out of me. And I grabbed the and I was leaving I was walking down the hallway with, the bag, and just walking down the hallway, I saw the exit. It said emergency exits. And I was like, I didn't know how or where I was going. I was just leaving.
This
And
was
it was
after transplant,
yeah, I was in the hospital in recovery,
and
and
you escaped.
I was trying. I don't know why. I was just like, okay, I think I'll leave now.
Yeah, no. When I said I escaped, I wasn't trying to flee. I just wanted to prove I could walk. I actually was on my within the second day.
Yeah,
That next day, I was walking like down the hall. I've got photos of it. I think we
yeah,
shared one already.
that's what they said to
I
me.
wasn't trying to leave any place.
They wanted me to start walking around the
Hmm.
floor I was on,
Yeah,
because they had like railings on the side you could
yeah.
hang on to the whole hallway.
Hmm. Yeah.
So I
Remember
was
they
doing
said.
that,
Go
and
ahead.
I go to the exit, the fire exit, which is stairway, and
Hmm.
I looked out, and this is in St. Louis, Missouri, and I looked out that tiny window, and I could see the St. Louis Arch, and I remember thinking, I think I'll go to the St. Louis Arch. And I opened up the emergency exit, and doo, doo, doo.
Oh no.
And so
So
nurses rushed and they got me. Where are you going? I said, well, you guys wanted me to learn how to walk again. That's what I'm doing. Well, around the floor, not don't go down those stairs, and it was really stupid. I didn't have the mind to think how stupid that was. I just really wanted to see the St. Louis Arch, which is probably 5 miles away anyway.
were you still experiencing HE at this time, hepatic encephalopathy, which, for those that don't know, is a condition that happens as a result of your liver not working. It can't process the toxins correctly, and it causes all kinds of misfires in your mind. It's a pretty miserable experience. It's like being in like soul level quicksand with a little bit of mescaline involved, and just draining and just confusion. And
Yes,
so,
big
did you still
time.
have some after
Oh,
transplant?
oh, a lot. I think I had it. I wonder sometimes if I still have it. Because
Have you talked to your transplant team about this?
no, I talked to them in April or May, I no, I haven't. I should say something to him, but my
Yes. What about blood? You still give blood?
every month I give blood.
Next time you do that, let's mention the HE. Tell the nurse.
Yeah, I'm
But
going to
they
that.
will, that will raise a red flag. It is a red flag. I'm
Well,
not
it
trying to
is
freak you out.
because
I'm not trying to freak you out, but if you're experiencing HE-like symptoms, that means that there's some kind of filtration issue going on. And so that's something that even if it's perfectly normal and they can fix it or whatever, well, it's not normal, but if it's, easy, it's just a medication switch. But they need to
yeah,
know.
and I am on medication, like 8 different pills, and my it might be the medication I'm on, but like um, mom told me about a guy in her ward. He wasn't a drinker. He didn't have um alcoholic cirrhosis, but he had to have a liver transplant, and he got a transplant. And he said, "No, I was like a new man." Everything, and I'm like,
The the reason you got the liver transplant has, well, I don't want to get too clinical out there because this is probably not 100% correct, but fundamentally, I would, as I'm not a liver expert, but I've been freaking enamored like crazy with it for 15 years, ever since I was first diagnosed terminal in 2010. And I've learned a lot about it. It should not matter. I mean, if once the liver is a new liver, the old liver is kind of irrelevant as far as how you got there. Now, if you're still drinking or still doing some of those habits that might have got the old liver messed up, well, certainly you're just, you're putting a healthy fish in a toxic bowl, when the old fish died. And so in this instance, though, the new fish, if you're not doing those things, you should be fine. It should be functioning.
well, it
So
might be
regardless
that
if it
like
was fatty liver or some kind of, the hepatic ones like I had, or I mean, mine was also cirrhosis. So I mean, and then mine led to liver cancer. All those things, I could have just had one of them and needed the liver transplant, and the old liver's gone. I got this new one, so it wouldn't have changed the new one. And when I got the new one, everything's been working fine. And the AG with me was 100% gone the moment I woke up and has not returned in
wow,
the slightest
mine
bit.
has not. Mine is still here, and I do take medication for anxiety, uh, pain, and the combination of those things might also have something to
You
do
might
with
also, well, there you go. It could be that would be actually a good thing if you're having some kind of conflict. And again, this is not medical advice for anybody watching YouTube. Don't flag us. It's two brothers talking
Dr.
about frankly,
Troy.
so F off. But sorry, not everybody, but if it's some algorithmic foul, sorry for being real. But my point being that if you have some kind of conflicting other medications, whatever they might be, and they are producing an undesired outcome, then that's a negative experience, and that's something they'd have to fix. And they could do that, but you have to tell them. You have to say, I'm experiencing some kind of confusion or whatever. I'm not telling you what to say. Tell them how you feel. And be honest with them. Tell them, don't feel embarrassed about it. I mean, it is what it is, and they will listen to you and help.
I better do that soon.
I
It
would
is.
call them today.
It's crazy how I'm. I really live in a fog constantly. We're like I don't remember what I did yesterday.
I think we
I
should
I
end this
forget
right
to pay
now, and you
bills.
should call them. If we end this right now, do you promise to call them right now?
I'll call my doctor.
Do that. We've already done a lot here, folks. This is an abrupt ending, but given what my brother has just said, I think it's important that he calls the doctor today. And I'm not his mother, and I'm not his keeper, but I would imagine anybody out there, give this a like. There you go. There's my cheap cells. If you think Troy should be the doctor, call the doctor right now. So,
We're taking votes. I'm not
yes,
going if you're not
right. This is
saying
not
yes.
right. This isn't life threatening or anything, Troy. I mean, but there's a little
No, it's
fuzz going
not.
on. You need to get it addressed. Nobody wants to live in a little fuzz unless they're trying to, and that's what got us to a bad place. So, that's not the desired outcome, regardless of this somehow chemical concoction happening with you. Whether it's your liver, whether it's these drugs, it's a
I
phone
think
call
it's
away.
the
You need to get that
drugs.
answer. Well, then let's stop. You call them right now, okay? I'm going to call you in like an hour and see how it goes.
All right.
Okay? All
Okay.
right, everybody. Sorry, we will let you know in our next episode. That'll be, well, assuming Troy survives. Either it'll just be me or I'll be Gen X transplant bro. Just not bros. I have to get rid of the S. You know, just when we had the T-shirts made. Sorry, no, actually, we don't even have a logo. We don't need a logo. I should just write it on the wall. By the way, we're still the studio collapsed, as everybody knows, so I'm in temporary housing right now, and so the sound might not be as well either. So sorry about that. We are the Gen X Transplant Brothers. My brother has a doctor's appointment; he just doesn't know it yet, and we will see you next time. Thank you for being here. Be sure to let us know what you think. We're not talking at you; we're speaking with you. If you were here, I'm sure you'd have something to say. So we would love to hear it. Till next time, folks. Troy, you have anything?
No.
Pick up your phone as soon as I hit stop, okay?
Yep.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next time, man.
Bye.